stream. Go for viewers. Team. All right. Hey, everybody. Just BrickBriz just wanted to go ahead and start the stream in a second. Yeah, so my intention today is to be doing some giveaways. I am a huge fan and follower of the Tracy brothers. They're a dev studio that have been around for quite a while on iOS. It's been really interesting getting to see them kind of grow as developers in the past years, and it's just been a real treat. Yeah, I mean they've had quite a few games here. All right, cool. All right, let's go ahead and restart that because I just realized I wasn't recording. Whoops. All right, let's do this one more time. All right, hey everybody, this is BrickBriz. Go ahead and I'm gonna start this stream. I'm gonna take a little break from my Dwarf Fortress videos with DF Remote for a little bit. A little backstory there. I've been in touch with the developer, and he's actually seems like he's very close to getting Dwarf Fortress version 44 up. So I thought that maybe I'll do one or two more videos because I'm doing some really basic stuff that's not going to change at all. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get the server upgraded pretty soon, and yeah, I can maybe include a short video on how to upgrade your server if you had already started. So today, for a change of pace, I'm going to be following one of the games that I've been playing pretty much since it was released, I think, a week ago. I was fortunate enough to be on the alpha, and that's Star Traders Frontiers. The game's actually by the Tracy brothers, and I've been a huge fan of theirs for quite a while. Here we go. Yeah, so they've been making games for a bit, but in my opinion, they are some of just the best developers out there. I mean, they make really interesting games, and I mean, there's plenty of interesting games out there, but to me, the thing that sets them apart from almost every other developer is just their phenomenal support for games that have been out for years. I think they just released a huge Templar Battle Force update in the past couple of weeks. And I mean, that game was released like 2 years ago. This is just almost unheard of. So they do make great games, but they do it as a passion, and to me that's something commendable. So today I wanted to track Star Traders Frontiers. It's their latest release. I was fortunate enough to play it in the alpha. I'm really liking it a lot. I played many hours so far on a trip I took last week, and I just got back. Yeah, so I mean, these guys are real special, and to me, I just wanted to kind of talk about this game, and as a way of supporting them, give out a copy or two to people who are watching the stream and would be interested in picking it up. It's just, yeah, a very good game. I got a little problem though, because there we go. Anyway, yeah, I'm a huge fan, and I'm gonna go ahead and start the stream. But I mean, if you're interested at all in checking the game out, go ahead and watch along. And if you're, if you'd like to get a copy, please chime in and chat, and I'm, maybe I can either give it away to the first person who asks, or maybe come up with a, fun little set of fairly easy trivia questions or something. Anyway, so tonight I wanted to start a new game, but follow, I guess, so I've sort of been working with different templates for Star Traders that I've liked a lot, and I tend to drift more towards sort of a Explorer Merchant build. So I created this Explorer Merchant template, and I'll just kind of go over it really quick here. On the top, I have attributes. I believe that they are probably the most important thing. there's another streamer who did a really great tutorial named Mint Dragon, and this is based very closely on what he did. I chose this cutter over the Guardian Interceptor based on just, you know, the slight differences that I think make it work a little bit better for me. Slightly higher hull, slightly higher armor, slightly higher shields. It's got the same slots and the same crew output. So for me, I mean, it seems like picking the cutter over the interceptor worked a little bit better. I couldn't find any other major reason to pick the cutter. Or sorry, the interceptor. So for contacts, you can choose, you know, any contacts you want. Later in the game, and this is something that I'm thinking may want to get tweaked at some point, you can get some skills that let you automatically meet contacts, and at a certain point it just gets a little overwhelming because you end up with, you know, 20 or 30 contacts very, very quickly. But yeah, these are the ones that I chose. Now that I'm looking at this a little more critically, that I've played a few hours with this, maybe I'll look over it again really quick. But so the X Bounty Hunter, alright, let's see. Local, yeah, I don't think I need a Bounty Hunter locally. The ones that's, you know, kind of nice to have, the Prince is very nice to have. It gives you introductions to other people, although I don't think it's necessary. I'm going to choose a non-local Prince, actually. So when you choose a let's see, we'll go back. When you choose contacts where you have, you know, 4 or more contacts, your first 3 will be in the local system you're in, and then the 4th one and beyond that will get farther and farther away. It's not too bad. 1 or 2 jumps away is still very reachable. But when you start, the main mission has you meet a prince that's part of the key storyline, but he has all the same perks as you know, this other prince right here: missions, faction rank, trade permits, edicts, introductions, and pardons. So I think I'm going to try to gamble, and hopefully this other prince I have will be in a faction that's not the faction that I'm initially starting on. I like the well, I don't know if, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, if the Explorer's that good, because exploring missions are kind of nice, but, I mean, trade permits you can get from your, again, local prince. Exoscouts are kind of nice. I think, actually, I might choose someone that, I think a Fixer is extremely popular. Choosing... Here we go. Missions, faction rank, Scavengers. So Scavengers are really... They're kind of harder to find as far as crew goes, so I might drop the Explorer and go for combat medics. Yeah, so I'll choose the Fixer, and then again I'll double tap the Prince so it becomes the 4th non-local. So I'll go ahead and save. Yeah, then again, experience, lower experience, but you gain experience fairly quickly, and no skills initially. Again, as you level up, you'll gain skills, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. And I guess I'll just call this Explorer Merchant 2. Alright, so save the template. Go ahead and, yeah, I'll choose this template and I'll go ahead and launch. Manually assign talents. I think I have enough of confidence in this game that I'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, so I'm gonna play. I've been playing normal for a while. Haven't done the challenging or demanding, but I feel like just for fun, I'll do hard on a live stream. Just, you know, nothing ever goes bad when you're trying to do a live stream, right? So go ahead and select that. So House Thulun I like a lot. They have very strong economy and better starports, which makes both, I believe, buying and trading easier, and then as far as a starport goes, lets you set up your, or you know, upgrade your ship a lot easier and repair your ship a lot easier. So I'll go ahead and select them. Map. So I'm going to go ahead and do this map 2, since I'm sort of familiar with it and familiar with the layouts. So I'll just kind of select some random face. Why not? I'll be old grizzle guy. And then, yeah, there's a whole bunch of these costumes, although I think they just added this one in a recent update. So, yeah, why not? I'll choose that one. Why not? I'll just keep the default captain name. I don't want to be too attached to this fellow. I'm not entirely sure he'll be lasting too long. Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll launch. Alright, so this is sort of the initial storyline. I don't tend to stick too long with it. The first couple missions are very easy to do and can earn you some quick, easy money, so I'll probably run both of those. But that's probably it for now. So yeah, this is just sort of the introductory mission. If we go over here, we'll see that this is the planet we should start on. Again, I highly recommend checking out Mint Dragon's review on this game. But yeah, I mean, so this is just a planet where it's got kind of two sides to it. The first side is, let's see, the first side is kind of an explorer. It's so this flag right here on the left. That's just a independent flag. Doesn't necessarily mean there's a civilization there, though. With that green flag there, it lets you know that you can explore it because it's kind of untamed wilderness. On the right side there, you can see my flag for House the Loon. You got it's got fuel. You can from top to bottom on the right, the weird sort of. Wish I had a ability to show you what I was looking at, but up here on the top right corner, tapping. Whoops. All right. Well, I guess we're gonna fly there right now. So, going back out real quick, on the top right corner that says that you can refuel there. You can repair your ship is the next symbol, the wrench. The band-aid is a doctor, and the bottom symbol is trading, I believe. As you gain, or really as you lose reputation with factions, you'll slowly lose the ability to do these. Juggling your reputation with different factions is one of the real tricks to this game. Again, looking at the top here, you can see that we have 3 different alerts. The first one is just saying that you have enough fuel to jump out of the system if you need to. The helmet with the glasses, that's just saying there's a ability to hire someone, which I think we're going to try to fill it with a scavenger, since there's a few jobs that are available almost everywhere, and filling out your crew with kind of these specialist jobs can really help out a lot. And then, of course, I haven't given any of my crew ranks or talents yet, so one of the things you almost always do as soon as you start the game is fill these out. And actually, that's what my oops was when I clicked to move, is that over here on the right side, you can see that as you're flying, events happen, and the skills of your crew members can help sort of mitigate these events. So on the bottom here, it said that unfortunately one of my navigators flew us into an asteroid belt, and the ship got damaged, and the crew got injured. The next one was, again, a radiation cloud, which did something very similar. And finally, meteorite strike. So this is basically saying that my pilot is really untrained right now, which is understandable. So on the left side here, you can see the little dots next to these 9 icons let you know which have things that need your attention. The missions here is just saying that you have your one mission, the storyline mission, to go meet the Arbiter, and that's how the game always starts out. And then on the crew here, here's all my crew. They're all wonderful, and because of the difficulty, probably the majority of them are going to die within some short period of time. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and start this choose the talents. I'm going to mainly raise him as a merchant first, and then probably build up some secondary skill just to give him extra abilities, and then later learn new talents. So under talents here, in the very beginning of the game, you always need to do all the skill saves, making sure you have at least 2 people capable of covering skill saves, if not 3 for some of the more common ones, like the piloting ones, are pretty important. So I'm just going to go ahead and train him in Wise Counsel. This just lets me automatically pass failed negotiate tests. And I'll go to the next one. This one has a job, so this is an engineer, and I'm just going to train them up in engineering for now. And for talents, again, the skill save. This just lets me know that, or this will let me pass failed repair tests. And this is pretty much how you want to start most of your games. Go ahead and upgrade the quartermaster. So there's 2 different skill saves. This one saves command tests, and this is ship's ops tests. I'm probably going to do command just in this case, because there's going to be other officers that'll be able to cover ship's ops, but not necessarily command. So training up in doctor, failed doctor tests. Pilot, definitely want to make sure we have this ability to pass failed pilot tests. This is a crew dog, and this is, yeah, one of the ship's ops tests. So that's covered. This is the pistolier. This is a person who's good at ground combat. These are the people you tend to want to give interesting skills to. I will probably do pinning shot. I tend to like that a lot. It's a good, fairly good debuff, at least for your initial talents. This next one's my mechanic, and want to pass failed repair tests. This is my gunner. This is again another melee combat person. Oh no, sorry, gunner is the ship person who fights in ship battles. The weapons that I like as a merchant, I tend to like to sit in the farthest back or second most farthest back position, which is positions 5 and 4. Wasn't totally clear to me when I first started, but the little dots on the bottom of each one of these icons on the left let you know where these skills are capable. So the blue stars mean that it's a skill, a friend, or sort of a local skill. So this one just says that like boarding assault, for instance, has positions 3 and 2 covered, and then bombardment has 5, 4, and 3. So I'm going to cover bombardment here. Hey, Nook. All right. So the next one is probably do targeting lock. Bombardment and targeting lock are the 2 that I tend to use in the early game. So here's the electronics tech. Again, failed electronics tests. Pilot will... So here's my second skill save for pilot failures. So yeah, I got the 2 of those covered now. One more pilot. At this point, I don't necessarily need to do expert maneuvers. I will probably choose right now a combat skill, which is evasive maneuvers. This is a pretty good ship, or actually, no, I'll do sharp steering first. So what I like about this skill is it's one of the early ones that lets you greatly increase your escape chances if you need to run. And as a merchant, I'm not necessarily in the really good position to fight early games, so running away is typically better. So I'll go ahead and get that one. For let's see, Hyperwarp Navigator. This is someone who will be doing some jumps through jump gates. So eventually I'll want to start doing this. So this is a nice skill that lets you jump with a fuel reduction, but definitely want to do the tactics save for now. Well, I guess, let's see, tactics or navigation. I think I'll do navigation for this one. I think I have one more hyperjump navigator. I'll see. So here's the second skill save for ship's ops. The second for electronics. Here's another gunner. I did one targeting lock, I believe, so I will do a bombardment with that one. And again, you'll be doubling up on a lot of these skills, or sometimes tripling up or more, depending on the jobs you have. So it's not a huge deal right now to have, or to miss a few, and maybe just having one or two is nice. So I already have two failed electronics. So I like this signature jammer skill as a good cover. It just means that when you fight someone, and if you run away, they're still going to report you, and you'll lose a fair amount of reputation with whoever it was that tried to attack you, even if you didn't start the fight. So for me, the signature jammer is pretty good. This is one you like to have a lot, especially mid-game, when a lot of different ships, if you're flying through a faction where a lot of the people there don't like you, you're going to get attacked frequently. You don't want to injure your reputation more than you have to. So yeah, signature jammer is real good. This is my swordswoman, and I tend to have her in the front. So counter, yeah. So this counter ability is really nice. She'll get shot out occasionally, but this lets her get a free strike in. So I tend to really like the counter ability. But this is another crew dog that gives me skill saves for ship ops. So I already got two for those. Let's see. Reroll a risk card, purchase ship. Okay, yeah, so the failsafe protocols is good. You will get hit occasionally in battle and it will damage a system. This will let you flush, whatever the damage is. So that's always good to have one or two of those skills available. Learning a new rumor, black market. Yeah, I'll do another signature jammer with this one. I think we're almost done with the crew. Evasive maneuver, guided fire. Oh yeah, I like this one too. So if you do eventually decide to start fighting ships, which you can actually make a fair amount of money doing that. You do lose a reasonable amount of reputation, understandably, but guided fire is nice because it definitely lets you hit the ships a lot better, and especially since I'm not playing on normal, hitting ships is going to be even more difficult. So I think I want to it's either this one or sure landfall. So yeah, actually I'm going to do the sure landfall, just make sure that landing is not consuming too much fuel. Here's another pilot. Yeah, I want to have this skill doubled up. Because like it says down here in the bottom, it says ready, but it has a 3-week cooldown. So if you get attacked and then shortly after you get attacked, that skill will not have been recharged. And you're going to want to have a secondary, or someone else who also knows that skill so you can escape again. Hyperwarp Navigator, here we go. So we had one, we had one person covering the tactics, or the navigation. I'm going to have this person cover tactics. So we got tactics and navigation. I think covering failed tests is still more important than saving fuel on jumps, so I'm going to wait till I have at least 2 covering each one of these skills. Let's see. Pilot. Yeah, so we'll start defense, shield, armor. Yeah, well, we'll do a guided fire once. Failed electronics. So yeah, here's one of the problems when you have too many people in a particular position covering too many of the same skills. It's a little overwhelming. I guess we'll do storm shielding. Protects the ship and crew from damage when flying through radiation storms and ion storms. Yeah, so that would have saved us from that earlier failed pilot test where we wouldn't have got damage from failing that. Tactics. Here we go. Got 2 tactics, 2 navigation. Alright, so yeah, this is the soldier. This is one of the 2 gunners. I think in general, I find suppressing fire and burst fire to be really good. I like burst fire a little bit more just because you can hit 2 people at the same time instead of just 1. So again, the little dots on the bottom, or so next to this icon, below this icon, it's not total. It doesn't make sense until you've sort of paid attention to it. But basically, this says that if this soldier is in the kind of the farthest left position, which is the 4th position, and then next closest is 3rd or 2nd, they'll be able to use this skill. They can't use it if they're in the very front. And that's fine, because we're going to not have the soldiers in the... we'll have them both in the 4th and 3rd positions. So yeah, burst fire is good, and this line, the yellow line underneath the 2 red dots, that signifies that this skill will hit both of them. We'll hit both the opponents in the 1st and 2nd positions. This is another gunner. Bombardment, raking fire... Signature homing. Yeah, so a lot of these skills aren't going to be too good until we upgrade our weapons on our ship. I mean, our ship can do some stuff, but it's just not going to be able to hit that hard yet. Let's see, targeting lock or bombardment. Yeah, I like bombardment. It softens the enemy ships pretty well. Ship ops or... Yeah, I'll do one more failsafe protocols to, again, remove critical system damage from affecting my ship immediately. You will, of course, have to repair it, but that's something you do after battle. Alright, learning a rumor. Okay, electronics test. So, yeah, we're at the point now where we have a lot of electronics techs and probably going to get rid of one of them. 1 or 2, yeah, because I don't think we need this much coverage. So we'll do another storm shielding. This is the other soldier, so again we'll do another burst fire, or yeah, soldier. Electronics. Alright, yeah, we'll just kind of go through these last ones pretty quick. Alright, there we go. Now we're done. That's definitely the longest part of starting these games, is making sure you have the correct people. So one other thing really quick, I want to look at the contacts we have. So Estelle Brookstrom is one of our contacts. She's the Arbiter we're going to be picking up. She's, if you can look at the flag with those 3 notches, that means she's independent. She's not associated with any one thing. So I got really lucky. That prince I got is actually a princess, but she's down here on the bottom. She's part of the Kadar faction. Kadar. And then I got the 3 Thulun folks here. Fixer, Hunter, and Merchant. So we're going to go land on this planet real quick. And, hey, we're not going to go to the wilderness. We're going to be landing on the mining area over here. And then this is the story. Again, highly recommend playing through the story a bit if or when you pick up this game. But for now, I'm just going to skip it because it's a little distracting. It doesn't show off all the features that I kind of want to show off. I'm going to be kind of mean and just choose the option that, well, I want to bring her, but just to get her, to give me the payment for traveling or flying her to the other planet. We'll come on aboard. We'll talk about specifics later. So yeah, I got a little injured here. I'm going to repair my ship. And actually, on the top left corner, there's this all check. Just go ahead. You can usually just push that, and it'll do everything. So what this did is it refueled my fuel tanks. It healed my crew. It boosted their morale. I didn't pay attention if my wages were or not paid, but it would pay the wages. It says we need a crew. So these are the default crew positions you can usually find at most starports. None of them are. I mean, I have a fair amount of them. I think the mechanic is maybe the only thing I would pick. But what you want to do is pay attention to on the right here, where your coverage is. So we have at least 100% on everything, and that's okay for now. As your crew levels up and skills up, they're going to be covering more and more to the point. So you can see these orange lines saying you have 114% coverage for electronics. I believe that just gives you extra perks when electronics tests are done. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and leave all these guys here. I'm going to go pick up a recruit from one of the other contacts I had. So again, if we go look under missions, or I think we have to go to look under mission contacts. Maybe she's already on board. Yeah, she's already on board. It says that she has important business in the world of... I'm not going to try to pronounce these names. Karinsky? Alright. We're going to navigate. And then, yeah, it's again more story, but... I mean, this is really cool. Another thing that I'd like to plug are the Tracy Brothers lore for this whole universe. It's really just fascinating. It seems to be very unique and not too derivative of most of the other sci-fi that I've read and experienced in video games and movies. So yeah, it's refreshing. It's not easy, and then I'm going to just tell her we're all have important work to do. Alright, so we're flying to the next planet. So here we're going to meet the prince. Here we go. And then, yeah, we'll just skip it. Next. Alright, here we go. So, always want to refuel your ship. One neat thing on this little box with the arrow on the top right corner of refuel, if you tap on that, you can tell it to auto refuel. I'm not going to do it just yet because money is real tight in the beginning, especially if you're not familiar with what you're doing in the game right away. Don't auto refuel because you might accidentally run yourself just short of enough money to do something you wanted to do. But you almost always want to refuel whenever you land, and different stations will have different costs for fuel. And again, in the later game, doesn't really matter, but in the beginning of the game, you want to maybe be a little more picky about where you're getting your fuel. So here's the mission contacts. I'm going to go talk to the prince. So you have everything that you would normally have with a prince, except for on the top left corner you have the narrative, which progresses the story forward. I don't really want to do that. I do want to do a court mission because you want to buddy up with princes because they're the ones who can get you kind of in well with their faction. So for instance, Thulun, I don't have any real trade permit, and as a merchant, that is not good. It means that I can basically buy here, actually, why don't I just show you? So tap on services on the bottom and then buy cargo under the exchange on the bottom right corner of the screen. And you can see that, I can buy most of these things, but they're not too valuable. The more valuable things will almost always require trade permits. And you want to get I believe there are tiers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 permits, or at least 1, 2, 3, and 4. On the top right corner here, you can see I need a free trader's permit. Rank 2, which I don't have, and in order to get that I need to prove to this prince that I am not useless. So this is a super easy mission to do. It's just saying you need to carry this to a different world. You hit accept, and we're going to go back, and we're going to take off. If you don't know where you're supposed to go, on the left corner here, or left side here, you want to tap your missions, tap the mission that you care about. I'm not, again, going to pursue the story one here at all, But here, this one-way shipper, you can set a waypoint, and that will put it on your map and kind of set the trajectory for you. You can just hit navigate right here if you want to just go directly there. But if for some reason you sort of forgot or didn't do that, this navigate button on the bottom above your fuel on this screen will do the same thing. So I'm just going to tap that. And here we go. Alright, so again, this is a trivial mission. We're just gonna land. Oh, one thing that I wanted to point out. So on there's 4 different icons here below the planet. They were the same 4 I showed you before: the ability to refuel, fix your ship, get a doctor. Oh, sorry, the 4th one is spice. So your ability to go to a spice den, which again, I believe is a nod to the Dune series in at least the name. But in the lore for this game, the people who discovered these drives that let you tell or transport these ships discovered that they also give you just extremely long life. But your body builds up this sort of physical dependence on being close to these drives at that point, and so the only thing that seems to allow you to easily relax when you land your ship is spice. So there's a whole bunch of different lore that covers the different kinds of spice. You can do spice beer and spice cigarettes and all that stuff. But essentially, it's a bar to have your crew chill out. Gonna refuel. Go to missions and contacts. This one-way shipper. So when you tap the missions, if you see this arrow or rather this box with these 3 arrows, that's just saying that there's one of your active missions has a mission point on this planet. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on that. You can choose where to do some of your missions. This one just says just go to a spice table, and we're going to do some oh, sorry, I'm reading chat. Ah, yes, my friends on chat are mentioning sometimes maybe there's a pumpkin spice latte. Yeah, so this is just saying that we want to get that data cube or whatever it is we're supposed to pick up at the spice bar. So just tap on that option, and it'll give you a breakdown of what just happened in this kind of part of the mission. It says, so usually there's 2 options for some of the bigger missions. You can either choose to resolve it at the spice bar, and that will boost your crew's morale, and they're usually much quicker. The alternative is doing kind of a big celebration of when you celebrate something. So, like if you're transporting a diplomat, taking them to the palace and actually, doing a big ceremony by bringing someone there. They take much longer in the game, but usually have much better rewards as far as reputation goes. Occasionally they'll pay out better, but usually reputation is far more valuable than these other things. So yeah, it's just saying that we gave the data cube over that we transported here. We got paid 5,000 credits, dollars, whatever the currency is here. We've completed the mission. We gained +3 reputation with both House Thulun and personal reputation with the prince that we got the mission through. He gained more influence. So this is another interesting thing about this game. There's a huge amount of simulation going on in the background, where each of these contacts that you're meeting are gaining or losing reputation in this simulation, and your actions directly affect this simulation. So by giving one of your contacts more influence, they're actually able to have a larger effect on the game state as a whole. So it is, it's kind of cool. I don't know too much about the specifics of that, other than that's sort of what's happening in the background. But yeah, I just think it's still really cool. Alright, so we're done here. What we can do is either head back to the prints, which I think we're going to be doing in a second, but I wanted to take a quick pause and see if anyone on chat was interested in getting a free copy of this game. So, I don't know. First person to chime in, go ahead and let me know, and I can get you a copy, or yeah, let me know. Why don't we take a 30-second break here while my video catches up with chat, and yeah. So my problem is that I posted a lot of the links to my chat, or to my stream on the Discord channels with the Star Traders folks. So I guess there's not a lot of takers because most people are already aware of or playing this game or don't have it on iOS. So anyway, I'll go ahead and keep going. Okay, so yeah, why don't we go back to the prints and I can kind of show you a little bit more. Make sure I fueled up. Yes, I did. Alright, we'll go back to contacts, tap the prints, and we'll just navigate straight back to them. Okay, so on the event log over here, we can see that red plus there. That means that I failed a test, and that's always really good to be aware of what tests you're failing. So we failed a doctor test. So it looks like we got one morale isn't a big deal. But a couple people got injured from some flesh-eating viral agent. So why don't we land, go ahead and pay the crew their wages. So another thing about this game, when you pay their wages, like that's when crew can level up. So I'm going to go ahead and, just tap the center of this button, which heals everybody, and then I'll pay everyone their wages. So now that I paid their wages, if you look up here on the top bar up here, it says that 3 crew members are ready to gain their next job rank or talent. I tend to like to do this before I do a meeting in case there are skill tests needed for these. Actually, no, usually after I do missions, just because, after I accept a mission to let me know what the mission entails. So for instance, you might be scavenging and you want to have some extra scavenging skills, for example. So here's the prints that we were working with before. So Legion Fern in chat asked if this game's on iPad. So this I'm showing on iPad, but this game is both on iPad. It plays extremely well on iPhone and on Android devices. I think my only recommendation against the phones is just that the UI, it's very good. It was designed well. It's just not totally clear until you've had someone explain what the first couple of screens are. Once you get that, you have enough to know kind of how to start playing the game, and then at that point it's just learning as you go. Hope that answers your question. So yeah, on the prints here, I'm going to tap on the court missions. It looks like we still need to prove our character, so we'll do one more of these silly missions. So what this is saying is that we need to transport a diplomat. So there are 2 transport missions for people that you need to be aware of the difference. The first one is you're transporting kind of a guest, and the other one's you're transporting a prisoner. Now, if we go look at our ship right now, because we're on a planet, I believe, with a good space station, tap on Services and tap on Upgrade Ship on the starport. You can see the components of our ship right now. We don't need both of these boosters. One booster, I mean, they're nice to have and they reduce jump cost. But something that's far more valuable is the prisoner quarters. We don't need it for this mission specifically, but we will very likely need one soon. So, for instance, if you tap on, I tapped on this looks like, I don't know, beds or something. I can't figure out what that icon is, but this one just transports a passenger. So if we go ahead and we scroll down here, we'll see that there's one that houses a passenger. There's one more that detains a prisoner. So you're gonna need another one of those at some point. We'll worry about that when we get to it. But yeah, we'll go to the prints. We'll go back to the missions. We will accept this mission. So this is kind of nice. This pays us part of it when we get there and part of it when we get back. Another nice thing is that it tells you the distance. Again, this is a super close one. It's 9 astronomical units away. So we'll go ahead and accept it. And make sure we've fueled up. And everything else is looking good here. Now we will go to... Alright, so yeah, we don't have any skill tests that are necessarily important for this because we're just picking someone up. So we're going to go to the crew. There's this icon up here. If you look at Isla Von Shah up here on the top right, you'll see the little plus with the 2 arrows over her head. Oh, sorry, looking at chat real quick. Looks like my chat's not quite working as well, but anyway, yeah, so a couple of these arrows here with the pluses just let you know there's people ready to level up, but there's a lot of people that aren't. So what you want to do is you want to go up to the filter, go to leveling, and you'll see just the people who are leveling up. So we'll go to Isla Von Shah. She gets both a job and a talent. She's our doctor, so we want to train her up in being a doctor. You can also train people up, and you can scroll down and give them extra jobs. I tend to like to get 1 to level 5 because you unlock extra talents associated with that are kind of core to that person's skill set before moving out. So there's major new talents available at levels 5, 8, and 11, I believe, and possibly 14. I haven't got too far as the talent trees go. I usually tend to get someone up to either 5 or 8 and then start an Alright, okay, so let's go do that diplomat mission now. Go ahead and tap on that. We'll set a waypoint and we'll just navigate straight there. So here's one of these like random encounters. Because we're flying around our kind of home area, we're gonna be in relatively good standing with the people that we meet here, at least in general. There might be spies or smugglers or pirates flying around, but this is just an explorer. So here we can choose to fight, but I mean, this is a friend, so acknowledging is nice because it boosts your reputation a tiny bit anyway. So you see down here, We're both flying as good friends of House Thulun, one of the factions, and we gained 20 experience just from encountering and acknowledging, this explorer. So we will continue on, and again, tap the navigate button down there to fly to the planet. The little red target icon on the bottom right, under the landing button, lets us know we have an active mission on this planet, which is the diplomat we need to go pick up. But why don't we heal up and refuel our ship before picking up the diplomat. So this is that thing I was saying, that we have several options on how we want to handle this. We can meet in the spice bar, which will boost our ship's morale. We don't need to do that. We have full morale already. We can go to the diplomatic meeting here, and this is going to give us a nice reputation booster, and that's very likely what I'll pick. Or we can meet the diplomat at the local security checkpoint. That's probably just a quick option. We're not in any huge rush right now, so I will just do the diplomatic meeting. This will, like it says, it takes 4 days, but we gained 3 reputation for this. We picked up the diplomat. We gained 7,600 credits or dollars. I need to figure out what the currency is called. We gain a fairly large boost of reputation, both with the faction and with the prince. And again, he gained extra influence. So we will set a waypoint, make sure we're all good, which we are, and then we will just go out to the map and then navigate back. We'll go ahead and land here, refuel, go to the contacts. We don't tap the prince to complete the mission, we tap short jumper to complete the mission. So go ahead and tap that. And you can, again, same 2 options over Spice Beer or the actual diplomatic delivery. We want to do the delivery because at this point we're trying to boost reputation, we're trying to boost our contact's influence and personal reputation with the prince. So here we go. He gained even more influence. I mean, he's a pretty high level prince, and 59 influence is fairly significant. So I'll go ahead and hit continue. Tap the prince. If we tap court missions at this point, we still need to prove our character. Alright, so up at the top it says that achieving 50 effective reputation will allow for more concurrent missions. We can see that we have, on the left here, we have 45 effective reputation. So we will do one more dinky mission. So this is not bad, but a little trickier. Just says that we need to find clothing, which are supplied by farming, industrial, orbital, high-tech zones with trade law 10 or less. Each planet has its own trade law, and trade law determines the abilities you have to buy or sell questionable goods. So we'll go ahead and do this just because it gives me something else to show off. So we will accept this. Let's go find some clothes. So it says we need 24 units of clothes. So now we need to find a planet that will cover clothing. So there's 2 ways we can do this. We can again tap on the mission, and we can see in general it sort of tells us that farming, industrial, orbital, or high-tech zones will have them, but we can actually go into, on this menu, we can go to the Atlas on the top here. This isn't going to be super useful because we haven't landed at many planets, but hopefully we've landed at least one. So here's an industrial planet. It's one, I think the one we picked up the diplomat from. It's saying that it sells a whole bunch of different items. Clothing is one of them, though, and it says B+ up here, which means that they're selling clothing fairly cheap, and likely a fairly large amount of it. We don't have a great trade permit, but our trade permit is sufficient to buy clothing. So I'm going to set a waypoint at that planet, and we'll just navigate there because I already refueled, and we're good. Again, noticing the event log on the right, a compartment was damaged during flight because we failed an intimidate test. So this is one of these skills where almost none of the core crew I have are gonna have intimidate skill checks by their, at least by their default jobs. So that's why I wanted to go pick up maybe like a scavenger. I don't actually remember if scavengers themselves help with that, but there are. I mean, you can pick up. I believe spies have, even at level 1, have the ability to pass or have one of those auto pass failed intimidate tests talents. So we might want to go pick one of those up. So we're gonna land here on Tulum Prime real quick. We'll tap the check all, so everything's done. Then we're gonna go buy cargo. We're gonna tap the clothing, and we needed 24 units, although they're selling clothing fairly cheap here and we can sell it fairly well. In general, until you get much larger cargo holds, you want to be buying things that are fairly expensive as far as the price per unit goes, and then you can usually resell them better, especially if you order by price per unit. So again, if you scroll all the way down here, you can see that almost everything requires some trading permit we don't have. Water purifiers are one of the really good things to trade, just because they don't require any trading permit, which is very important because trading permits are required both for buying and for selling goods. So if you go to a factions planet that you're cushy with, and you buy something that is requiring a fairly high, I think power generators, for instance, require a level 4 trader's permit, a rank 4 trader's permit up here on the top right. And you buy a whole bunch of power generators, you can't sell them unless you're selling them to another contact you're also pretty cushy with. So yeah, I'm gonna go, or with some exceptions. There is a black market thing, but I don't know if I'll be showing that off for this this particular stream. So anyway, yeah, just go get our clothes. We'll buy all 50. I believe that's, yeah, our entire cargo. So on the bottom left corner, you can see our current cargo space. So we have 50, so we're just going to fill our entire hold up. What's also interesting is that once we bought all of those, I believe it actually changed the price. Here, wasn't paying attention, but changed it a little bit. Eventually, when you get much more cargo space, you'll be able to do a lot more and sell a lot more. Or rather, when you buy a lot, it will reduce the price heavily because the demand just went way up, so you can't buy them for nearly as cheap as you were. So anyway, here we go. We're going to go to our missions. We're going to find, this is just the easiest way. I mean, we could just go back to the map and try to find the planet, but we'll just navigate back. And land, do everything, check all. We will go, again, don't sell them. You want to go to your, or at least not yet. We bought 50, we only needed 24, so we'll be selling some. But we're going to go to missions and contacts, commodity delivery, and we'll unload our clothing. And there we go. We've been paid $13,000, or $14,000 roughly, for our credit. We gained some rep, we gained some influence. Go ahead and continue. If we tap the prince, we actually have enough effective rep to get more advanced missions, which usually require more advanced either ranks, edicts, or trade permits, any of these three things in the center. So rank is the military rank. I don't quite remember exactly. Oh, never mind. All the benefits are right here. You can go ahead and read these if you want. But essentially what it lets us do is it lets us buy new ships and place our ship into dry dock, which is like parking it if you wanted to flip your ships for whatever reason. I've only ever had the ability to buy just one really good ship at a time. But yeah, you could put it in dry dock if you wanted. All the others are here. Rank 2 will let you... lets your recruits have higher levels. Rank 3 Oh, cool. So they'll ignore local quadrant reputation. So that's interesting. I've never done a lot of purchasing of rank. So yeah, the rank goes way, way up. You can buy extremely high ranks, but generally one is usually enough. So trade permits, again, these are where, as far as I'm playing, this is what's important for me. Spice Trader will get you rank 1 permit. Free Trader is probably the good staple to have. You'll definitely want to try to get to Full Trader or Principal Trader for at least one faction, if not more. Let's see. Alright, yeah, so we'll go ahead and purchase this first one. It's real cheap to get, and maybe even get a second one. The thing is that as we do this, this will kind of eat into our personal rep, I believe, with this prince. So we don't want to do too much of this, or rather, we'll probably have to do one more dopey mission, but to get our effective rep back up. So yeah, we'll go ahead and buy the free trader permit, and that should be good for now, because the next rank actually does cost a fair amount, and we don't want to waste that. The other one is an edict. So again, not trying to get too far into the lore, but each one of these factions has a kind of strong military tradition against each of the other factions, and if there's ever kind of a disagreement with another faction and it can't be resolved through regular means, they can declare these the phrases gave me like death feud, or but basically what this edict lets you do is attack someone on behalf of the faction as kind of the faction's not quite standard bearer, because traditionally these star traders have been extremely neutral in a lot of these things, which is sort of, again, tied into the game's theme. But this edict, at least having a level 1 edict, is usually pretty good to have. And as you can see, my personal rep has been dropped a fair amount, so I'm going to want to do a few more missions with this guy, I think. Maybe not. Maybe I do actually want to go to the other prince. Or no, you know what? Why don't we go see our contacts and see if any of these people can give us a... so this will give us a bounty hunter or spy recruit, and we definitely want one or both of those. And maybe we can even get rid of one of our extra electronics techs or whatnot. So yeah, why don't we go fly over to this person... Where are they? 13 AU away. So you can see next to their name how the distance they are away. It's good to kind of keep a rough, eye on that. So for instance, this is 0 AU. It's on the same planet we're on. 13's not far. 16's farther. 26 is likely on the other side of the system. And Kitty is 2 jumps away. The jumps, again, are not far, but you will have to refuel at least once per sector that you jump through. We'll probably get around to that in a little bit, but yeah, for now let's go make friends with this bounty hunter, or ex-bounty hunter. So we'll go up here, land, refuel, all that, and then we'll go to the bounty hunter. We can try to recruit people out the door, but I don't know if we have enough reputation with them to let us do that. Oh, we do actually. So probably have enough to do just one. So might as well just hire one right now. We have enough money for it. You can see on the bottom left corner how much money we have. And probably want to get... What did we just recruit? I thought it would have given me a prompt. I wasn't paying attention, I suppose. Yep. So go back to the crew. So this is our bounty hunter... Our new bounty hunter, and yeah, so this gives us a ability to pass a failed intimidate test, and again, that was something that we definitely needed. So we'll go ahead and train here, and this is that thing I was saying, that the edicts, like getting allowing you to execute a death warrant. on behalf of a faction is the edict thing, and so this, one of his other talents is being able to buy the edict for cheaper. I think there are several different jobs, each with abilities to let you buy each of those 3 permits: the trading permit, the military rank, and the edicts for cheaper. So we'll go back. We're all good here. Let's go run a couple of missions for this guy. I just want to build up a little bit of reputation with him. So this is, again, a transport mission. You can see to the left, on the bottom left corner over here, that little person, that just means we have a guest, not a prisoner. Prisoner will show up as 2 handcuffs. So we'll go ahead and accept the mission. Back out, go back to the map. Whoops. Do not want to fly out into space. Yeah, so we will go to missions. So this is 25 AU away. We'll set a waypoint real quick just to make sure we're not going to get ourselves in trouble. We do have a 40 fuel range, and that is only 25 away. But again, that is almost at the exact opposite side of the system, and it's always good to make sure that when you are going to fly somewhere far away, especially early game when you don't have much in the way of money, that you're going to be able to refuel somewhere close by. So yeah, we'll go ahead and navigate down there. Oh, here's a pirate, but it's one of our friends. So again, we'll just acknowledge him and move on. Oh, and a spy. Again, we will acknowledge, gain some experience and a little bit of reputation, and move on. So, down on that bar, on the fuel range, on the bottom here, you'll see it's sort of broken up into 2 sections. So, the bar on this little divider is the area showing how much fuel you need to actually do a navigation jump. If you look on this top bar as well, it says we lack the fuel needed to make a safe hyper warp jump. It's just something to kind of keep in mind as you're flying around. We'll go ahead and land. I'm going to go ahead and hit the checkbox here. The fuel here is quite expensive, and this is early game, so this is not necessarily great, but again, I'm sort of playing for time here because I will need to end the stream at some point, so just check everything. Normally you might try to fly somewhere else close by to try to find better, cheaper fuel. One other thing to realize that I just realized a second ago, I still have clothes. You can the price per unit here is very good on this. So if you look on the top bar here, Draywick Falls is a refinery. Refineries tend to need clothes. So I just got lucky that I realized that while we were at a refinery. But so this A- means that we're selling it for almost as high as we possibly can per unit of clothing. And the profits here, this is 125 per unit. This is saying that we will gain a total of 3,250 from what we paid. So yeah, we'll go ahead and sell all that. And then we'll go to our mission contacts to, again, pick up the diplomat. We'll do the diplomatic meeting to boost our reputation some more and increase our influence reputation with the contact. We'll set a waypoint. I think we're good. So we'll just go right back out to the map. Oh, looks like we have a couple people that leveled up. Not a huge deal. Worry about that later. So go back to the map, and then we'll navigate. Alright, so this is a merchant from a different clan. This is the Clan Zenrin. So this is a merchant. We're just going to ignore this person for now. We can choose to fight them if that's your playstyle, not my current one in this ship. So we will just retreat. Additionally, you can demand tribute, but that will injure your reputation. I don't want to injure my reputation with anyone needlessly right now. So I will just retreat, and again, because our If you look on this top area where it says arc scanner contact, the third line says contact disposition initially suspicious but now neutral. If they're -1 or higher, you can usually retreat without any bad effects. So we'll just go to retreat, and they both mutual withdraw. So he kept going on his way, and we're going on ours, and gained a little bit of experience. So continue on. Now we'll navigate back to our ex-bounty hunter contact, land, refuel, mission contacts. Again, not tapping on the bounty hunter, we're tapping on the mission. And we can, if we were in kind of a hurry, so I'm only taking one mission at a time from one contact at a time. You can definitely optimize this game by taking multiple missions, especially if you have a few close contacts. Sometimes you even get 2 contacts on the same planet. And if they're both giving you missions to the same area, you can, maybe just fly to a different sector, complete all of your missions all at once, and fly back and complete all of them at once. I'm keeping it simple for this demo, but that's something you definitely want to try to do later on. Where the caveat to that is that each of these missions I've been ignoring, I can show you next mission we take, has a time limit on it. And a lot of these things, it's not totally clear that you're using a lot of time doing these. Like, for instance, if you really mess up your ship and you need to repair, it can take weeks to repair your ship. So just outright tapping, hey, repair my ship, isn't always a good idea. If you drill into the ship repair menu, it can tell you how long it'll take you to repair, and additionally which systems are broken. So you might want to just repair a couple of lightly damaged systems or more critical systems over repairing your whole ship, just to save in-game time, to make sure you have enough time to complete your missions. That's just a bit of advice that I have after playing this game for far too long. Alright, so diplomatic delivery. Again, we'll do that because that's the best way to boost reputation and influence. It's kind of mutually beneficial. The more reputation and influence are 2 sort of metrics you get with each of your contacts. Reputation is generally how much they like you, but influence is how much they can do for you. So if you have someone who likes you a lot but has very low influence, they might be able to give you a rank 1, maybe rank 2 trader permit, but not much beyond that. This contact now has 30 influence, which isn't bad, but not great. We're not going to get a lot of useful stuff from this bounty hunter. Like, for instance, if you look at these edicts, he can't get us a rank 4 edict because he doesn't have the influence he needs. He would need 40 influence to be able to get us that, which, again, we're so early in the game, it's not that important, but definitely worth noticing. Intel records, we can spy, which I haven't trained in any skills that let me spy effectively when I don't want to risk my ship or crew, but yeah, I mean, you can do a lot of different skills and abilities to make spying, patrolling, or salvaging a little bit safer. And we'll hopefully get into that. If I do another stream, hopefully get into that next stream. But yeah, another thing worth sort of looking at, as you gain a little more advanced into this game, you can look at their known details. It tells you their current influence with the house. It tells you who they like and who they don't like. I haven't played too much to really pay attention to these in a significant way, just sort of glanced at them and sort of shrugged it off. I know it has effects on the simulation in the background, but I don't know much more than that. These traits are fairly important, though. Like, for instance, if you learn a trait, I don't remember if you gain the perk of that trait before you discover it or not, but basically this guy has covert ops, so missions pay 10% more, and he recruits spies. So I can, recruit a spy from him. So yeah, I wasn't paying attention, but it says recruit a level 5 bounty hunter as a crew, or recruit a level 5 bounty hunter as an officer, or recruit a spies crew. So I'm going to go ditch one of my crew and pull in the spy, because I do like having a crew with a rounded skill set. So we're going to go over here to crew. Might as well level these folks up. The captain gained a job. Yeah, I'll train him up as a merchant some more. I want to get him up to level 5. And then as far as talents go, so yeah, this is one of these skills that's extremely useful. After skill saves, gaining new contacts is very, very handy. This is also handy, but again, not super useful until we're ready to buy our rank 3 trade permits. First and second tiers are fairly cheap. The market confident when executing a trade worth over $5,000. You have a 10% chance to gain introduction to a contact. Good, but again, we're not going to be doing extremely valuable trades until we get at least a rank 3 trading permit. So for now, the friendly banter is a really good skill to have. And then this is our quartermaster. So I think we have enough coverage as far as skill masters go. So no one has watchful eye specifically. So if you look on the right here, it says there's an X. It says no members of the crew know this exact talent. That's not necessarily good. But if you look at the check below, that says our crew knows 3 talents of this type, which means that 3 automatic passes for failed ships op tests. So it's a different skill, but it has the same effect, and or roughly the same effect. And I think the differences may be where it says here, including deep space travel, landing, or hyperwarp jumps. I don't know if that's true for the other skills, but that's fine. So what I want to do is I want to go into jobs and find a good skill that also provides command and intimidate. If I remember right, yeah. So the zealot here has blades, command, and intimidate. So I'm going to train level 1 in zealot. And in talents, so we have all of the. So if you look at the little symbol to the left of the quartermaster, the planet. I think that's a planet. I'm assuming that's a planet. Anyway, the one with the helmet and the circle around it is the zealot one. So if we tap on talents, we can now see that we can learn these new talents because we've gained rank 1 in this new job. This crew member, Jet Tormos, is he's a senior officer, which means that you can train him in up to 3 different jobs. I tend to only do 2 just because if you spread it out too thin, you're not going to get the higher level talents that are extremely good. So anyway, so I'll go to talents here. Zealots also have the ability to automatically pass failed intimidate tests, so I will be getting that most likely. Yeah, as my first one, yeah. So again, we have our crew knows 1 talent of this type. Now we have 2 talents of this type, and 1 member knows this exact talent. All right. Now let's go look at my crew. First, actually, let's go back to. Well, let's pay everybody their wages. Looks like we got a couple more people leveling up. So we tap on, under recruit, we tap on, it says ship barracks is full. We tap on that. It tells me where all of my skills are. So right now I'm really good at piloting. I'm very good at gunnery, relatively, and pretty good at electronics and ship tops. So I'm going to try to possibly drop a gunner. Now that I've looked at that breakdown. Go back over to crew. We'll sort them by job. And then the gunner's the guy with the 3 bullets, I believe. Yeah, so we have 3 gunners. 3 junior crew gunners. And we have you poor level 2 gunner. I'm going to dismiss you. So on the right side here, yeah, I'm just looking over all their stats, paying attention to specifically their skills, their and these different talents down here. Steady is dependable and enduring. All morale loss is reduced by 50%, fortitude, and armor. It's not that useful. And then brave is or increases initiative. I'm never going to have her fight in combat because she's a ship's gunner, not a on the ground gunner. I don't know what crew combat is, what that's called. I don't know what you'd actually call that. Anyway, I'm going to dismiss her. Yeah, and then we're going to go back, talk to our contact about recruiting a spy as crew. So there we go, and now we'll go back over to the crew. We'll level up the 2 that we're already leveling up and the spy that we just picked up. So looks like the captain just leveled up. Again, we'll do merchant. He didn't gain any new talents this level. Next, same with the engineer. We're going to level this engineer up as a let's see. So he has repair and electronics, and we tend to want to have him flow in the same circles. So explorer has tactics, electronics, and explorer. Again, I really like playing an explorer, and having some skills in explorer are really helpful. So I'm gonna have him be a engineer explorer. So there we go. And then finally the spy. Spy is level 4, so we'll pick 1 talent. Failed stealth tests. Yeah, absolutely need coverage in all skill saves that we can, especially ones that we don't have any of. So yeah, we'll do the failed spy tests. All right, or stealth tests rather. And I'm gonna have you be I don't know, for some reason I always pictured my spies as women, sneaky. Oh, she needs a hat. There we go. Okay. Cool. All right. So we have a fair amount of reputation with him still. One other thing that's really nice, we don't quite have the money for right now, but weaponry. So occasionally you will enter crew combat. So there's 2 forms of combat in this, and I think we'll try to get ourselves into a fight at some point soon. Just to show that off. But you're gonna have ship combat, which is your ship versus another ship, and then you're gonna have crew combat, which is basically you're on the ground or in an enemy ship or a ship, someone boards your ship. You're going to want to attack, or rather you're going to want to have strong weapons in ground combat, and that's what this guy's offering, is this weaponry. So we can tap on the weaponry. We can use some of our reputation to allow him to buy or allow him to sell us level 4 weaponry. I'll go ahead and purchase that just because I don't think we'll be coming back to this contact for a while. But this lets us buy stronger swords, stronger rifles, shotguns. The one thing I do want to pick up while I'm here, so you can see that these are level 5 weapons and these are unavailable because we don't have that ability, and he actually doesn't have the influence to sell that to us yet, I don't think. But yeah, I do want this sniper rifle because it's extremely powerful. Because we already have a what is it? Yeah, I believe we already have something similar to this AV-24 LMG. So yeah, I think we have a machine gunner. And here's a heavy machine gunner, or heavy machine gun that we could also purchase. But again, I don't want to waste all of our money on weapons right now, especially since I'm not aiming to get into fights. But there's that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my crew before I forget to do this. I'm going to filter for fighters, people that are capable of fighting. And we have 2 different soldiers. I'm going to, I guess, give it to the slightly better one, the slightly more leveled up one. And tap on her, go up to equipment. I'm going to change her light machine gun to the sniper rifle. And there we go, just so I don't forget to do that. Alright, here I think we are pretty good. We have a level 2 trade permit, so why don't we try to find things that are good to buy here. So we'll go to buy. Doesn't look like there's... So there's luxury clothing that's C+, again, not bad, especially if we can sell it on average for 320, but it just means we're not going to be making as much money. Again, I'm going to sort of point to these water purifiers as a great example of something to buy just in general. You can sell them almost everywhere without trade permits, so that's really nice. I'm going to go ahead and purchase those, and then fill out the rest of my inventory with luxury clothing, I suppose. Alright, so now that we bought both of those, our cargo hold is full. I just tapped on cargo. We're going to tap on water purifiers to get an information about that, but it says it's in demand on POP, which are kind of just, I don't know, like what the best example would be, but it's like basically a planet with a bunch of people on it that doesn't necessarily produce anything. It's just a large population zone. Farming, mining, and lux pop, so luxury pop zones, are very wealthy, very populated city or planets. And then luxury clothing is in demand in pop and lux pop. So the commonality between both the purifiers and the clothing are that they're both in demand on pop and lux pop zones. So what we can do now is go into the atlas and try to find a pop or lux pop zone. So this one is industrial, mining. So here's this is interesting. Indie are independent zones. So on the right here, I'm looking at the Chiltz zone. Independent zones will have no trade restrictions, I think, almost at all. There's a few definitely illegal goods that are very hard to sell anywhere but a black market. But in general, you can buy and sell almost everything from indie populated zones. The downside is that most industrial zones don't have all of the different things. Like, for instance, this one, you can only refuel your ship and go to the spice hall, but you can't. There's no doctor there, and there's no mechanic there. If you look on the left here, there is one Steel Song, which is a different faction, high-tech industrial zone. We don't have any trade permits with them, so that was one of those things I was saying, that we could easily sell. I mean, if high-tech zones take water filtration, then we could sell it there technically, but I don't think we could sell the luxury clothing. So again, scrolling down, this is an indie. On the right here is an indie wilderness. This is one of these areas where you can explore, but you can't really do much. Besides that, there's a refinery, industrial wilderness, farming, refinery, industrial. So it doesn't look like there's anywhere we can sell anyone we can sell our stuff to, because there's no pop zones here. So what that means is that we're going to have to leave the system to sell them. So we'll go back out to the map. So there are these circles right here. These are nodes that will let you go to other zones. Now, on this menu, we've looked at the atlas. We're going to go look at the galaxy map now, so tap on that. This is going to tell you the surrounding areas and which factions are dominant in those areas. I think they're called sectors. I've been calling them sectors. Unfortunately, House Thulun, this flag right here, does not have any faction control for any other sectors except for up here on the top right, up here. And I believe this W, I can't remember what each of these letters means, but you can sort of get some of these. So the M is mining, I is industrial, like right here. M is mining, I is high industrial, P is pop. So this right down here is saying this is a largely populated zone. Not necessarily there won't be populated zone or populated planets in each one of these systems, but in general you can kind of get a rough idea. So I'm gonna tap the closest ones nearby first, just to see if there are any that are close and good. So like for instance, I tapped on this Devaltos. You can see up on the top here, Devaltos Syndicate is the primary owner of this sector. Although there are a large number of, large spread of different planets here of all different factions. So we can drill into this system by tapping System Atlas on the bottom center, and then see again what zones around here are useful. So going back to my different contacts, that princess that I had was actually part of this the Sidar Syndicate. So we might actually want to go find her, run a few missions for her, and buy a couple of levels up for our trade permit, so we can get maybe some nice trade routes going from the Kadar worlds to the House of the Loon worlds. Just as a thought off the top of my head, but again, we're not going to go down that road too much yet, because I'm not going to try to get that complicated. But as the game progresses, those are the sort of thoughts that you have that you sort of want to build on. So I think what we're going to do is, even though we don't have so these are two Devaltos. I don't quite understand this, but there's two Devaltos population worlds on the same world. I guess that's just how the map was generated. I think we're just going to go navigate there and at least sell the water water filters. Can't remember exactly what it's called. But anyway, so we'll navigate there, and that'll take us here. This is our first hyperwarp jump to another system. Basically, on the bottom right corner, it says that it is going to use 33 of our 128 fuel. I don't think we have 128 fuel. Fuel range. Okay, maybe we do have 128 fuel. But yeah, so it's gonna take us. So this is another one of those areas where you push a button, you don't realize it's taking you an entire week to do this, but it's gonna take us a week. And there's a danger level of 7, which probably isn't that big of a deal, because I think we can automatically pass failed navigation tests. So I'll tap jump. It's saying that we were successful. We used 33 fuel. The jump took a week. All right, so here we are in the Far Fallen Rim. We're going to have to, so on the bottom it says we have a 31 fuel range with a 29 AU to the waypoint. We can probably irk it out. The problem is that if we accidentally stumble upon someone who wants to attack us, we use a fair amount of fuel while we're fighting. So this route is actually pretty handy, because we are fairly close to a bunch of planets that will all sell us fuel, so it's not a big deal. But as the game progresses and you take the more lucrative missions from your contacts, you tend to have fairly significant impacts against your reputation with other factions, and you will slowly start to lose the ability to refuel at planets, to the point that sometimes you will enter systems you just can't refuel at, and that's dangerous. So right now we're fine. We're still in the beginning of the game. We haven't made too many enemies, actually, yet. So we can navigate there, and very likely anyone we run across will just let us keep on going. There we go. Alright, very little fuel. I don't know if it really matters. I think we'll land on the capital, just because they have slightly higher stats. You can see the money here is their economy. They have an extremely good economy. They have very good starports. Their military is very strong. Government's very strong. Again, a lot of these factor into the simulation, and I won't get too deep into it, but each of these will affect different things. Let's see right here, trade law. That's what I was saying, that there are 7 of 10 is not. It's basically most things are still going to be outlawed, but there's a few things they'll likely let you sell or buy without trade permits. And then the population, economic demands are determined by the number of people on the planet, so we'll go ahead and land there. Pay everybody our wages, fuel ourselves up. we'll go to sell cargo. And again, we don't have the permit here. So we have a C- here, and I think it'd probably be worth checking the other populated area on this planet really quick. So 206 per unit is what we can sell here. So we will just tap the back button in the bottom right corner. We will land on the other side of the planet, and we will attempt to sell. And 206, yeah, so it's the same price here both, but not always, not necessarily. It just happened to be in this case that they were the same. So we will make 8,400 from this trade, and yeah, we can buy things. So the thing about Pop Worlds is they have garbage. They have poop and metal. So yeah, you can't. They're sinks in the sense that you tend to end your routes at populated worlds, but you don't really pick up anything from them. So we'll go back, refuel, the little bit of fuel we use to fly to the other side of the planet. And then one thing I noticed while I was looking at the atlas is that the House Thulun planet in this system is a tradeway. Tradeways are very lucrative for the merchants because they both sell a lot of goods and will buy or tend to buy a fair amount of goods. So I'm going to go fly there, see if maybe we can sell our stuff, but more importantly, if we can pick anything else up that would be good back in the system that we started out in. So we will land on the planet, pay our crew, fuel up. You always want to do that first before buying anything so you know exactly how much money you have to work with. So yeah, we can sell it here, but we're going to take a loss of $522 total if we sell them, so I'm not going to worry about that. Sometimes it's worth taking a loss if you're super low on money and you just need to get some gas to get to the next world. But yeah, we're not desperate yet. We have 21,000 credits right now. So I'm going to go ahead and buy... again, we want to do things that have fairly high value per unit. So 340 seems to be the best. 320, although it's not going to make us nearly as much money as the refined spice. So yeah, we'll fill our cargo holds back up with this. It says that we need a free trader's permit to sell it. So again, we can't sell it anywhere except for a Thulun world right now. And it's in demand in Pop, Mining, Orbital, High Tech, and Lux Pop. So we did have mining and orbital stations back in our original system. So I believe we can sell it there pretty well. So we can go ahead and purchase this. And because we haven't, one of the things I do like to do is land on every single one of the planets in the system that I originally start out in, because you can get this really valuable trade data by doing that. So if I go to Galaxy and then I go back to the system we started out in and then go to the system Atlas, we can see, like, for instance, this Anzone mining station buys the refined spice at B-. So that's pretty good. That means they're going to be spending a fair amount of money. It'd be worth double checking the rest of the planets that we have trade data for, just to make sure there's not like an A+ or something that we're missing. Here's a mining world with another B-. We're going to skip the Steel Song since we have no special permits with them. Here's another mining. Yeah, so it looks like all of these are going to be fine. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and set a waypoint there. We will navigate back there. We're all full on fuel and anything. So here's a smuggler from the Qatar Syndicate. Yeah, we have a -1. They're suspicious of us, but that we'll still be able to get away fine. So we'll just retreat and continue. Oh, my kitty's hungry. Not sure if you guys can hear the kitty or not. Alright, yep, we'll go ahead and jump. I think... yeah, so we're going to barely make it. 19 fuel range, 18 AU to waypoint. You can see on the very, very bottom. So we'll go ahead and navigate there. And we're in a friendly system, so the likelihood of getting attacked while we're going there is very low. especially since we made no enemies. One of the other things that's interesting in the simulation of this game is the stronger an enemy you get, the higher the risks that they will actually send a bounty hunter to come and attack you. Again, we're kind of lucky because we haven't made any real enemies yet, but as you progress through the game, and especially since missions are some of the most lucrative ways to make money, you'll tend to take reputation hits from doing valuable missions. So I think I might have to call it here pretty soon, but we'll go ahead and land, pay my wages, buy some fuel, sell my cargo. Yeah, and here we go, 7,600 total for that run. Not bad. So there we go, we're up to 30,000, and we still can't get rid of this luxury clothing. It's one of the risks of buying something that looks like a good deal before you realize if you can sell it to anyone. Yeah, I think we'll just call it a night right here. We'll leave off on this planet. Actually, maybe we'll go fly to one of our contacts and pick up from there. So I don't think we're gonna go to the merchant. Maybe we'll go to the fixer. Yeah, scavenger recruits. So scavenger recruits are good. Specialist gear, black market access, cheaper fuel, and smuggler missions. So yeah, why don't we go fly there, and that'll give us something fun to do next time. Speaking of smugglers, acknowledge him and move on. It looks like someone's morale is very low if you look up on the top bar. Yeah, go away. So on the top bar here it says crew member has dangerous low health. I guess we failed a electronics test and a doctor test. So yeah, we're gonna have to heal up and do all that. There we go. And right here is the spice hall thing. This is specifically for boosting morale, but you can tap the little box with the arrow in the top right corner to see, who's how many people are low morale, and so yeah, we'll pay, and there we go. They have good morale. Pay their wages. All right, yeah. So we'll leave off here, and we'll go talk to this fixer next time. Awesome. And I guess level up our crew as well. So cool. Thanks again for watching. This game is really fantastic. If you like it or interested in it, maybe leave me a comment and let me know, and again, I can try to gift this to someone if they're interested. All right.